Hey guys, it's Matt here at Matt Cards. Today we're going to cover a little bit of a Nami deck profile in place of Trav today. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So Nami's a blue yellow 4-life leader. On your turn, anytime a life card is removed from either yours or your opponent's life pile, and you have 7 or less cards, you get to draw 1 card. And then with 1 Dawn attached on your opponent's turn, when your opponent attacks you, you can discard a card and make her a 7k leader on your opponent's turn, which is really strong. It helps save some counter out of your hands and helps you extend the game a little bit longer. So let's go ahead and let's get started with the deck. So for right now, until the new structure decks come out, I'm running 2 of the 1-drop ball blockers. Just helps you when you don't necessarily have the counter in hand to stave off dying. Because the deck does want to take its life at times, but also counter a little bit out because you do want to keep your hand size roughly around 7. Something that'll help you mitigate the Dawn and allow you to have your leader effect on your opponent's turn every turn is Teach. So give yourself 2 rested Dawn, and then again on your opponent's turn discard that card, make yourself 7k, so we're running 4 Teaches. And then one of the best cards in the deck, Nojiko. This card used to be garbage until they printed this leader. So for 2 Dawn, you get the bounce of 5 cost or less back to the owner's hand, which would be your opponent. So for those pesky blockers when you're going for game, you drop down a Nojiko, bounce it back to hand, and then go for game. Next up again, nice low cost, get rid of blockers in a pinch scenario is 4 Zeus. It's also your 2k. This is a deck where it tends to play out their 2ks, but we have a way to get them back to hand, which we'll go over a little bit later. But again, this will not only get rid of a blocker on your opponent's side of the field, but as long as you have 7 cards in hand, it'll proc your leader effect to draw, which is really good. Help you get into more counter. Probably one of your best early game actions is the Hiyori. It'll help stack some of the triggers that we have in the deck. And again, early game, it'll proc your leader effect because you're taking a life and then adding a life, so it moves that life. I'm going to get into some of the forecasts now. So right now, I'm running 2 Cavendish. I've been going back and forth on a little bit to 2 to 3. I tend to see him a lot, and he doesn't have counter, which is not necessarily a good thing in this deck. But it does help you cycle dead cards. So if you do end up with too many in hand, you can cycle him. Just draw and trash 1, or draw 2, trash 1. Next, Pudding. This is the card that I've been going back and forth with. I've either been running 2 Pudding, 2 Cavendish, or 1 Pudding, 3 Cavendish. There's not a lot of decks that like to hold a large hand size right now in the format, so Pudding isn't as good, but in those scenarios where your opponent's just consistently taking life, or they're searching everything and they've sculpted their hand, a Pudding reset is always good in any blue deck. So again, I've been going back and forth between 1 and 2 on the Cavendish. Next up is one of the triggers that you're going to want to stack. It's that Kikunojo. You are a yellow deck, so you do have some triggers in here that you can stack with the Hiyori. Kikunojo is good. It's a 4/6, so it puts pressure on mid-game in those scenarios where you end up taking a life and you stack the Kikunojo. And then it helps you you heal as long as your opponent's at 3 or less life. Up next, 2 Namis. Right now I'm at 2 until the new structure deck comes out. Once the new structure deck comes out, I'll probably go up to 3 on this. The Odin makes it extremely good. But right now 2, it just helps you again cycle. As long as you're running a blue leader, multicolored leader. Nami's really good. Plus it's a blocker. It's one of the few blockers that we do have. Up next, Katakuri. Running 3 of the Katakuris. Again, this helps you in scenarios where you have to Dawn out for the turn. Give your leader the rest of Dawn for your opponent's turn, so that way you can activate that leader ability and make yourself 7. Again, it's a blocker. Helps you stay alive, stay healthy. And then one of the better yellow 2Ks, running 4 Satoris. Trigger you can stack if you need a body for that mid game just to kind of stabilize, but mainly just in here for a 2K. You're not rarely ever going to hard play this. Again, if you want to stack it, it has a trigger, trash 1, play the card out, but mainly it's a 2K. Next up, we got 2 Jozus and 2 Kyros. So we're going to show both these. So this is the way that you're going to bounce your 2Ks back in. So again, as I mentioned before, early game, you're going to play your Zeus, or late game, you're going to play your Zeus. Early game, you're going to play your Hiyori to stack your life and to trigger your leader effect. And then they kind of just sit there. These help you get them back to your hand, returns the 2K back to hand, so that way you can defend out. Plus, they're really good statted. So for 6-7 and a 7-9, it helps put that pressure on towards the mid game to late game. But mainly we're just playing these so that way you can bounce the 2Ks back in. Because in scenarios where you have to play it out, it makes it extremely hard to stay alive if they just kind of sit there on the board. Up next, we're on 3 of the 8-drop Secret Luffys. This card is extremely good in this deck. It bounces. It helps you keep your hand size down in scenarios where you might be, sitting on some dead cards in hand. It's got Rush. I mean, it's just about all that you can ask for in this deck until we get the Odins. And then next, this is probably the best card in the deck because it just triggers your leader effect when you bring it out. You pay 8, you rest it, it trashes an opponent's life, a life left the field or a life left the life area. It triggers this to draw. And then it cycles at the end of turn as long as your opponent has 2 or less life. So this in this deck, extremely good. And then we get to the last couple cards, which is the events. We're running 1 Gum Fire Fist Pistol Red Roc. Just 1 for right now. Again, once we move into the new structure decks, this will probably be changed out. I'm not sure for what yet, but it's good because it's got an activate main and a counter. Helps you get past some blockers in the mid game if you need to, but mainly it's in here for just that 3K counter at the end to help save yourself. And then Red Rocs. I just can't say enough about this card. This card probably will end up getting banned one day. It deletes any card that your opponent plays out.
Ban it. Red is broken.
It's a broken card. Your opponent plays anything and you just send it to the bottom of their deck. The only way they can do anything if you're playing a deck that can save it, like Kobe or anything else. But this is the deck for right now in OP11. Once we get the new structure decks, the Marco Vibrator structures, it'll change up a little bit. You'll have the Odins that are in there, and then the Vista blockers will come in just to help with the chump blockers to stave off some of the pressure. But that's my build for Nami so far. There's a couple others that are running around out there, but this is the one that I found some success with so far. I hope you guys like it. It's been your boy Matt. I hope y'all have a good day.